Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Kiv, and today I wanted to introduce you all to Warhammer 40k Darktide. This is a game that I have been interested in for quite a while now, and I've also been following the Warhammer franchise for a fair few years now. And to be honest, there's a lot to know, which is why I wanted to make a video that goes through the bare bones basics of Warhammer 40k, so that way things are not too confusing to play the game. Let me also start by saying that the game has not been released so far. I'm not going to be talking so much about the story, except for what we already know from what the developers have told us. I'm mostly going to be focusing on setting and background in this video. So essentially, I'm going to do my very best to try and explain a lot of Warhammer terms in a simple way, so that way you can understand what is needed for Darktide the game. I am not going to try and explain Warhammer 40k in general, so for those of you who know more about the universe, I'm not trying to be misleading, and I don't want to steer people down the wrong path. I just want to give a starting point, so that way people can play the game, enjoy it, and have a rough idea of what is the background behind the game. Darktide, or I guess Warhammer 40k in general, is set in the 41st millennium. So time-wise, the actual year is about 40,000. In this far future, the human race calls itself the Imperium of Man. It is a star empire that has colonized over 1 million planets. But this isn't Star Wars. This is a dark, grim, terrible time to be alive. So what we end up seeing is a terrible quality of life for your everyday human, and on top of that, the scale of the worlds we populate is mind-boggling. Because there are specific worlds that we use just for industrial production. They are called Hive Worlds, and the number of people on them is crazy. Because on each of these hive planets, you can have somewhere between 5 to 20 different hive cities. But what makes it so crazy is that in each of those individual hive cities, you can have up to 100 billion people, and that is just absolutely ridiculous. Darktide is set in one of these hive worlds. It's called Atoma Prime, and you do all of your work, from the looks of it, on the hive city Tertium. The city has been overrun by the Mobian Sixth. They are corrupted humans that have fallen to the power of chaos. They worship basically demons, and yes, they are real in 40k, and you should be very afraid of them. It appears that their corruption has spread to the citizens of Tertium, and you are going to have to clean house. I will probably make another separate video about these enemies in the future, but that's the general sense of who you're gonna be fighting. But every story has a hero, so who are you? You play as a reject, a convict, someone who is the bottom of the barrel. But desperate times call for even more desperate measures. Whether this is good luck or bad luck, an Inquisitor is also on Atoma Prime, and they are some of the most powerful people in the Warhammer 40k universe. They essentially have a badge that says, "I can do whatever I want." And this Inquisitor has come up with a plan to retake the city before things get even more out of hand, and that is to allow convicts a chance at redemption. So in this case, that's why you and your squad have been chosen in order to defeat the Mobian Sixth and take back Hive City Tertium. So if you're able to go through a series of missions and defeat them, take back the city and get all of the glory, then you will have a chance at joining the Inquisitor and basically getting a license to kill bad guys and have a shit ton of fun while you're doing it. On the off chance that you are overrun by the hordes of zombies, killed by the merciless cultists that have taken over, or destroyed by the horrors that hide in the shadows, then it's okay, don't worry, they'll just send in the next guy. Good luck.